Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something really important, an issue that could be quietly affecting your finances without you even realizing it. We're diving into the complex world of DWP appointees. So let's just jump right in with a big question. Could a simple error buried deep inside the UK's welfare system be costing you £254 every single year? It sounds crazy, right? But it's a very real figure, and it all stems from a system that's actually designed to help the most vulnerable people in our society. And that's exactly why the experts at ProTax Accountant have put this guide together. We are going to break down all the complexities, help you spot the crucial warning signs, and show you exactly what you can do if you suspect there's a problem. Okay, so first things first. Before we get into all the problems, we really need to understand the basics. What exactly is a DWP appointee? And what is their role supposed to be? Well, in simple terms, an appointee steps in to handle someone's benefits when that person just can't do it themselves. This could be because of a severe physical disability, a mental health condition, or maybe issues that come with getting older. The key thing to remember is the appointee becomes fully responsible for all of that person's dealings with the DWP. And it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You've basically got two main types. On one hand, you have a personal acting body, or a PAB. This is usually someone the claimant knows and trusts, a close friend or a family member. On the other hand, you have a corporate acting body, a CAB. This is a formal organization. We're talking about a local council, a law firm, or even a well-known charity. Now, it's so important to understand that this is not a passive role. An appointee is legally on the hook for everything. They have to make the claim, keep it updated by reporting any changes immediately, go to appointments, and maybe most importantly, they have to make sure every single penny is spent in the best interests of the person they're representing. It is a huge position of trust and legal responsibility. So, if the system is designed to help, where does it all go wrong? Well, this is where a support mechanism turns into a major concern for every single UK taxpayer. And honestly, the numbers involved are genuinely staggering. £9.5 billion. That's the official DWP figure for money lost to benefit fraud and simple errors in just 1 year. A huge chunk of this is directly linked to the appointee system, where mismanagement or even misuse of funds can go completely unchecked for years. And this is how it hits you directly. That $9.5 billion isn't just some abstract government number. When you break it down, it costs every single UK taxpayer an average of £254 a year. That's £195 from fraud and another £59 from simple errors, money that is not funding our schools, our hospitals, or our roads. This quote really just gets to the heart of the problem, a serious lack of oversight. Once an appointee is in place, the checks and balances from the DWP can be few and far between. This parent's comment shows how someone can be left with huge legal responsibilities for years with almost no follow-up. It's the perfect environment for mistakes and even deliberate misuse to slip right through the cracks. And because of that lack of oversight, you see the same awful issues popping up over and over again. You get outright misuse of funds, where an appointee spends the money on themselves. There's failure to report key changes, like a claimant going into hospital, which can trigger a massive overpayment. And then there's the real difficulty in removing a bad appointee who might just refuse to step down. These aren't just admin errors. They can leave vulnerable people without money for food or heating. So, knowing the problems is one thing, but how do you spot them out there in the real world? This is so important, whether you're a business owner with employees who rely on benefits, or you're just a concerned friend or family member. So, let's look at the key signs that something might be going wrong. Being aware of these red flags is really the first step to protecting yourself, your business, and the people you care about. So you need to be alert for these signals. If benefit payments suddenly stop without explanation, it could be because a change wasn't reported. If the appointee is being secretive about spending or can't show you any records, that's a huge warning sign. Most importantly, if the claimant themselves says they're not getting the money they need, you have to listen to them. And of course, getting a formal overpayment notice from the DWP is a clear sign that something has gone wrong. And for you business owners, here is exactly why this matters. Here's a pro tip. When an employee is under financial stress because of benefit issues, it can directly impact your business. Think about Tariq from Leeds. His payment stopped dead because his appointee made a simple error. The financial stress meant Tariq missed shifts and couldn't focus at work, and that directly affected his employer's productivity and bottom line.
All right, so you've spotted the red flags. Now what? It's not enough to just see the problems. Let's get into the practical side of things. What can you actually do about it?
If you have spotted one of those red flags, the first thing to do is not to panic. There is a clear process you can follow to take control of the situation and get it resolved. Here is a clear 6-step guide. 1. Identify the issue with concrete proof, like DWP letters or bank statements. 2. Contact the DWP directly on the correct helpline for that specific benefit. 3. Gather all your evidence, receipts, statements, emails. 4. Formally ask the DWP to review the appointee's suitability. 5. If you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you can escalate it to the independent case examiner. And 6. For very serious cases, especially if you think there's fraud involved, it's time to get professional advice. And here is a pro tip that is absolutely vital. In any dispute with a government department, a paper trail is your best weapon. After every single phone call, make a note, the date, the time, who you spoke to, and a quick summary of what was said. This documentation can be incredibly powerful if you need to escalate your case. Now, I want to speak directly to all the business owners watching for a moment. Let's focus specifically on your risks and responsibilities. Because whether you are acting as an appointee for an employee or simply trying to support a staff member, the knock-on effects for your business can be significant. The story of Rian, a cafe owner, is a powerful cautionary tale. She was acting as an appointee for an employee with learning disabilities, but she didn't know all the rules. She failed to report his 3-month hospital stay. The DWP demanded back £2,100 in overpayments, and Rian had to cover it from her own pocket. A simple reporting error led to a significant financial hit on our small business. This table here is absolutely essential for anyone acting as an appointee. You have to know these triggers. For example, personal independence payment, or PIP, stops after just 28 days in an NHS hospital. You have to report it. If the claimant's savings go over £6,000, you have to report it. Understanding these specific rules is the key to preventing those costly and stressful overpayment demands. So the bottom line is this. Ignoring the problem doesn't just hurt the vulnerable person at the center of it all. As we've seen, it has a tangible cost of £254 for every taxpayer and carries the risk of direct financial penalties or lost productivity for every business owner. The cost of inaction is just too high for everyone. Navigating these DWP issues can be incredibly complex and stressful. If you're facing these challenges and you need professional, expert guidance to protect yourself, your family, or your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. The team at ProTax Accountant are specialists in this area, and they are here to help you find a solution. You can reach them on WhatsApp or by phone at 07985 689 912, or you can email them at info@protaxaccountants.co.uk. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you're aware of the risks and the solutions, how will you use this information to protect your finances and support those around you? Being informed is the first step to making a real change. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, please subscribe to the ProTax Accountant YouTube channel for more clear, practical advice.